I need a more engaging hook to get people enticed in these videos. When I'm watching myself back, I'm like, dang, it's like I sound so dry and monotone, but I'm more lively than that. Anyways, so here's my attempt at a cheesy hook, but I do like authenticity. So, do you want to get better at access and allies? Of course you do. General question. Easy, not the best hook. How about this hook? Are you tired of making dumbass mistakes? That sounds more appealing, right? Okay, let's get into it. So, I have a checklist, both a comprehensive checklist and a simple checklist to better yourself in access and allies, to make better plays. And this has helped me immensely. Like when I actually stick to this checklist, I feel like I am very difficult to beat. And it's not really too much more of your time. I think that you will be, if you stick to this checklist and let's say you're a platinum player or gold player, high gold player, you could definitely improve your play if you're a platinum player to top 10, if you're a gold player to platinum player. So you can definitely up your level just by sticking to the checklist. It could be simple checklist, comprehensive checklist. I advocate for the comprehensive checklist, but if you're not doing a checklist at all and you do the simple checklist before you go through things, you definitely are going to up your play. So let me give you the simple rundown first. The ABCDs of the checklist. And feel free to comment if there's an easier way, a more streamlined way of doing this. I'm a middle school teacher, so I always try to simplify things. Before that, I was an elementary teacher, so simplification is the best thing. If you're a really good teacher, you can explain complex ideas in a very simple way. So, A is for airstrikes, or air and airstrikes. So we just try to keep it simple. So I would look through the lenses of attacking and then the lenses of defending. So let's start with attacking and give me an example. All right, what can this bomber hit? I would look around and see what it can hit in conjunction with the fighters, this bomber and this fighter. I'm not going to break it all down for the video because I want the video to be somewhat concise. And I feel like you understand what I'm saying by I'm looking for what air can strike. And I can look for airstrikes on my troops. So let's say I had a stack of 3 tanks here and he had a bunch of air. I would go for that with the airstrikes. Probably could be a profitable battle there. Another A is for air, so I'm looking through the defensive lens. Can I airstrike? Attacking lens for me, can I airstrike? Can he airstrike? And then I'm looking at air. Is my air exposed? Is it any of his air exposed that I can hit? So that's pretty much what A is. Anything related to air. Can they airstrike? Clear. And if you don't know what airstrike is, watch one of my other videos. It goes more in depth about what airstrikes are. Or I'm looking for exposed air. So B is for boats. I'm looking to see if my boats are safe, his boats are safe. Are my boats safe? Can I attack his boats? Yes, are his boats safe? Can I attack his boats? Same thing. So that's what B is for. C is for 3 things. Cities, because I didn't want to say victory cities, A, B, C, D, Vs. So cities, that's very important. You look up here and see, I'm going to get VC sniped somewhere and allies win 10 out of 10 VCs. Can I VC snipe him and get a quicker win and move my ranking up? Then the next C that's very important after VC or cities, victory cities, are capitals. So I'm looking to see if my capitals are correct. Now, obviously if you're listening to this video, you speak English, I'm sure. So I was just thinking, I was like, if you're European or something else, the ABCs, you may have some different words, but Ciudades for Espanol. So we got capitals, and then we have can openers. Can openers kind of like airstrike. Can I can opener him? Where I hit with my German air, open this infantry up, blitz my tanks through to Berlin? No, I don't see that as an option. Can he can open me, hit me with American air, and then come through? Like, could he clear this out with America and then come through with UK ships? So I'm looking for like a naval can opener or a land can opener. And then last but not least is D for defensive profile. So I check into my defensive profile, see what it is, and then I assess the situation. So do I want to, if I'm Germany in an access game, do I want to put my AA gun first or second? Or so if they try to pop shot me and take out, naval bombard me and take out the AA gun. So those are ABCDs. Yep, you got air, boats, capitals, and cities, and can openers, and defensive profile. That's the shorthand version. If you can do that every game, like a checklist, I know real life gets in the way with time, and I understand. But if you can do that, you will be so much happier that you're not losing on stupid plays. I would rather lose with dice and be like, look, it was out of my control. I did the best I could, than just be like, oh, what was I thinking? I gave my opponent some plays. And in some of my games, I do have those in my record that I've lost to stupid mistakes, which are very frustrating. So if you stick with this, all right, now I'm going to go through the more comprehensive list, and I will try to be concise. So the first one, in no particular order, could be map notes or war diary. I'll go war diary and I'll see, okay, what did he purchase? What were his combat moves? Oh, okay, he attacked Egypt. How did it go? Oh, he lost an infantry. Non-combat, where did he go? Always moving, aircraft to Poland. All right, what might he do with that? Mobilization, all that stuff. Then I look at my map notes. All right, map notes. Oh, okay, this, watch out for U.S. transport trying to win the game. Oh, it's up here, trying to come in and hit, so I gotta be careful of that. All right, so I checked that before I even purchased. Now, I'm gonna look at things through an attacking lens and then a defensive lens. So on my attacking list, I have victory cities. So we look and see, all right, can I get a victory city VC win somehow? And then on the flip side, can he get a VC win somehow? So now I'm looking at the defending side. Attacking, can I attack his capitals? Nope. Berlin looks good. What's his other capital? Oh, UK. Maybe I could drop a fleet and do some type of Japanese sea line. That's an option. So I'm just kind of keeping that in the back of my mind. So that's why it's good to kind of go through things, because you're like, wow, this is completely empty. Could he get back in time and cover? Well, he's got 46 income. He could probably, block here if he had to. I don't think I'm going to be able to sea line him. So that's off the docket for now. But I will keep that in mind. Then I'm going to look at attacking and defending key territories. Can I attack France, Northwest Europe, Italy? Can I attack Persia? No, I own Persia. And India and Kazakh, I own those. Karelia and West Russia. So I'll look to defend. Can I defend these cities, or these territories, not cities? Yeah, I can defend India and Persia, Kazakh, West Russia and Karelia. And I can make sure I have enough units. Then I'm looking at can openers. Can I can open him? So, let's see. So after Japan, US goes, and then after US, I can airstrike. Let's say I had 20 tanks here in Ukraine, and he had 10, this amount right here. Ooh, I could airstrike with my German fighters, and then blitz those tanks through, and then boom, I got the capital. On the contrary, on the flip side, can he airstrike me? Can he come through and obliterate Transjordan, and then come through with the U.S., and then come through with UK, and disintegrate my fleet in 34? Airstrikes. Do I have enough air? I have 6 planes over here. Can I strike something like 2 infantry and a tank? Not quite profitable. Can I hit his bomber here? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, 2 bombers attacking a bomber and a fighter. I think I'll take that, because a bomber is terrible at defense. So let's go after that. That'll be fun. Although I have to give up 2 bombers for the price of that. Maybe not too bad. So that just kind of comes into it. Can he airstrike me? Boats, or my boats. Can I attack his boats? Down here. Yep, I remember I cleared that with a German fighter. He put a DD here, and now I can hit his boats. Ooh, is that more profitable than this battle? Probably so. So maybe I go for that. I don't know. I'll calculate it. Can I defend my boats? I've got a lot of boats, but I need to defend from certain things. He's got what's he have in range? A sub. I gotta make sure my boats are defensible. Defending. I can defend my boats. There we go. All right. Can I attack bombers and fighters? I went over that. Are my bombers and fighters safe? Can they land safe? That's another one. And I'm going to put this in the description, so if you're following along and trying to write this down, I'm just going to put it in a Google Doc. I'll extend that invite to anyone that wants to look at that, and you can make that your own. Feel free to edit it, because you may not like how I've organized it. It's your brain, your checklist, so organize it the way that makes sense to you. One of the cool things was when I was going through my defense profiles and learning about these, I created some defense profiles from the TTG guy when he was first making videos. So you learn stuff from everyone, and hopefully you can learn how to be better organized from me if you're not so organized already. Then I look at canals. Can we attack canals and get an opening? Can I defend the canals? Both canals. That's not too important, but it can be game deciding in some cases. So that's one that should be on the checklist. All right, defensive profiles. For my Navy, is my defensive profile set up? Do I want my fighters to die last? My carriers to die last? You don't want to be in the middle of a sea zone and you're surrounded by hostile territory, and you got your fighters to die last, and your carrier gets sunk, and then boom, your fighters can't do anything but go to the bottom of the ocean. So that's really what that one is there for. It's also for like land profile, like if you got your AA gun and you're Germany and you're defending against the KGF from the Allies, the advanced Ally aggression, and you are saying, okay, I'm gonna put my AA gun second to last, or not second to last, but second behind infantry. So that way, if they go for bombardment, you can still preserve your AA gun. Then we've got air stacking routes. I feel like I could do better describing this, but if I describe it to you, maybe you can rename it something better. And maybe it's just stacking. Maybe you can lump it in there with stacking. But I think this is very important, especially as Axis. Germany moves their fighters up here. Let's say UK has to step out to dead zone India. Japan moves all in on India, and UK thinks they got it dead zone, but boom, here come the fighters. They land in India, and now UK can't take India back. That is that's a very intelligent move, and it's very tough to counter and get back in the swing of things. And now you're looking down the barrel of getting VC sniped as the Allies. That was something that's difficult that I've learned a lot from, and that doesn't happen to me much anymore. But that was a lot of smart players doing that to me a few seasons ago, and it took me a while to lick my wounds and learn and recover. Then we have, just on the defensive side, repairing SBR damage. So if you got -5 in Moscow, then you really need to repair that, make sure that you are good to go. Because if you don't fill up your units enough, Japan could be on your doorstep and capitalize off hitting you because you forgot that you've been SPR'd, and you need to get your factory back up to near full capacity, or just enough to thwart an attack from the other side. And then the last thing, and this is really important, is stacking. Stacking is so underrated. Can you think about all your powers, all your factions? So can UK fly in fighters to help Russia stack? And then on the contrary, can the Axis stack somewhere and fly in fighters to help, like Ukraine stack, whatever it might be, or a West Russia stack? So stacking is important. It doesn't have to be air stacking with troops, but a lot of times that's how it goes. So multinational stacking. Then I would say, if you're more of a beginner, or even if you're not a beginner, I still make these mistakes too. You can also add in your non-com list. I didn't include that on here just because I really wanted to focus on what makes sense for me, but maybe what makes sense for me doesn't make sense for a majority of people, and therefore I would need to change it. So non-com lists would be, are my transports. I got every one of my transports that I unload my transport safely. Are my transports guarded? Those are those are very important things to consider too. And I think any Axis and Allies players you've talked to at some point has lost a bunch of transports at the bottom of the ocean. I think I lost like 10 transports one game a few seasons back. I was so mad the rest of the day, and it's so stupid to be like admit that, but yeah, that affected my personal life. You can see how intense I sometimes can take this game, and but I love it, so definitely addicted to it. But anyways, if you can, my point being is if you can avoid making these mistakes, then you will drastically improve your Axis and Allies play on both sides of the coin, both your Axis and your Allies play.